Hello and good morning to one and all. I hope you all are safe and sound at your home. Now, today I am here with a simple question to you all. Have you ever suffered with headache? Yes, definitely you all might have suffered with headaches. And what do? We just take a tablet, any painkiller, and we'll be fine. But have you ever thought your head is aching and the tablet you have taken directly went to your stomach and will go through complete digestive system? How did it reach your head? It reached your head with the help of a system called as transportation, and that is what we are going to discuss about in this video. This is a system that helps in distribution and collection of various substances required at various points of our body. Like you must have wondered how the nutrients that we eat with the help of our alimentary canal digest them and then are absorbed into our blood. Then how does it reach the tip of our finger? Because each and every cell requires nutrition. So these nutrients reach each and every cell and tissue of our body with the help of the system of transport. Same ways, this transport system also helps in distribution of oxygen, collection of carbon dioxide from various parts of our body. It also helps in transfer of hormones from the glands to various points where they are required. So this particular system is important for distribution and collection of substances from various parts of our body. One more important function it displays is it helps in maintaining an even temperature all over the body. Have you ever thought when you are feeling cold on a cold night, if you are sitting out near the fire and you just put your hands near fire, the whole body feels good? Or if you dip your hands in hot water, the whole body feels good, the temperature feels fine. The reason behind is because the temperature has been shared by all the parts of your body with the help of the system of transportation. It also helps in collection of metabolic waste from the complete body and helps in excretion of the waste. So all in all, transport is an integral part of a living system. Without a system of transportation, a living body cannot survive. That is why it is also known as one of the four life processes. Just like the system of nutrition and respiration, the system of transport also displays a lot of variety depending upon the complexity, habits and habitats of the organisms. Like plants and animals have different modes of transportation since their body organizations are entirely different. So now we are going to go into the details of the variety that is displayed by system of transportation. The circulatory system can be classified into two categories as in open circulatory system and closed circulatory system. As you can see in the diagram, the difference between these two diagrams is the open path of open circulatory system and a completely closed path for the circulatory fluid in the closed circulatory system. The circulatory fluid or the medium of circulation flows in an open path in case of an open circulatory system. As you can see the disconnection here near the tissues. Near the tissues, the system of transportation is completely disconnected. The fluid flows directly to the tissues and is collected back into the system. As you can see here, the tissues receive the circulatory fluid in an open system, and such a cavity that receives the circulatory fluid in an open system is called as hemocoel. This cavity is called as hemocoel, where the circulatory fluid flows openly. An example is insects. All the insects display open circulatory system where the complete body cavity is also known as hemocoel, where the circulatory fluid is filled and the organs present in the body cavity bath into the circulatory fluid. The second type of circulatory system is closed circulatory system, in which irrespective of the place the circulatory fluid flows in a closed path. It does not flow anywhere into the body cavity out, right? So that is the reason why it is called as a closed circulatory system, because it has a the body fluid has a fixed path of movement, right? This is displayed by most of the vertebrates, including human beings. We also display a closed circulatory system until and unless we have any accidental ruptures. The circulatory fluid flows in a closed system where it does not spill out anywhere. In both these systems, you are able to see a structure called as heart. Are you able to see this structure called as heart? The red colored bulb like structure which is labeled as heart. This actually acts as pump which keeps the circulatory fluid in motion. It provides the required pressure to keep the circulatory fluid in motion so that it keeps on circulating in the circulatory. The closed circulatory system is further classified into single circulation and double circulation. Single circulation refers to the system where the heart receives the blood only once during the complete course of circulation. As you can see in this diagram of single circulation, the two-chambered heart receives deoxygenated blood from the tissues. From the tissues, it receives deoxygenated blood. The blood reaches the first chamber of the heart, which we call it as auricle. Then it is received by the ventricles, and then it moves towards the gills. In the gills, it is oxygenated, and then the oxygenated blood is directly supplied to the various parts of the body. Unlike human system, it does not reach the heart back. So this is completion of one course of circulation. This is from tissues to the heart, heart to gills, oxygenation, and then it will reach back to the tissues once again. So this is what is called as single circulation. The circulatory fluid is received by the pump, the heart, only once during the one complete course of circulation. And if you compare this to double circulation, you will find that the heart receives the blood twice. The circulatory fluid is received by heart twice in one course of circulation. Let us start from any one point. Like if you see lungs, if we start from lungs, we will find that the oxygenated blood from lungs is received by heart once, then is circulated to all the parts of the body. All the parts of the body it is circulated, and then it is collected back and is sent back to the heart for the second time, once after oxygenation and second after deoxygenation. This deoxygenated blood then will be received by lungs, and lungs will oxygenate it and send it back to the heart. So this is one course of circulation during which the heart received the blood twice. That is why it is called as double circulation. So in case if the blood is received, the circulatory fluid is received once by the pump, it is called as single circulation, and if it is received twice by the pump, it is called as double circulation. All the aquatic organisms like fish which respire through gills show a single circulatory system where the heart is two-chambered and receives deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood will be directly sent to the gills. Gills will oxygenate and directly will be circulated to all the parts of the body. A closed double circulation is known to be the most advanced type of circulatory system that is displayed by human beings. And further, we are going to discuss about the circulatory system displayed by human beings. The human circulatory system comprises of three main parts. The very first is known as heart. It is a muscular organ which also acts as a pump that provides the pressure required by the circulatory fluid to keep moving in the circulatory system. The second part is blood, the fluid, the medium of circulation. Blood is also known as fluid connective tissue, as we have described it in class 9th. Fluid connective tissue that connects one part of the body to another part and is fluid in nature. It is the circulatory fluid that flows in the circulatory system. The third part is blood vessels. These are the pathways that help in providing the passage for the flow of the circulatory fluid, the blood. There are three different types of blood vessels: arteries, veins, and capillaries. Arteries normally are known to carry oxygenated blood, but more clearly they are defined as the blood vessels that carry blood away from heart. The second type, the veins, they carry blood from the tissues towards the heart, and capillaries are the connection between arteries and veins. Arteries end into smaller blood vessels called as capillaries, where the blood is supplied directly to the tissues. When it gets deoxygenated, it is collected back by veins to the heart. So the three main components of circulatory system are heart, blood, and blood vessels. In the next video, we will be describing all these different components of circulatory system in detail. Till then, thank you and have a great day ahead.